how do you protect yourself, right?
Mm.
Like other than click update, like what are some things that people, that families, parents should
Mm.
actually start doing?
Some of the simplest things that you can do, you kind of already talked about, right? You got a suspicious email, and instead of just clicking on it, blindly, oh my gosh, I got to go to my bank because whatever, you examined it a little bit. You took a minute and looked at it. And my recommendation to everybody is don't click links that are in email. If you're not sure, copy them and paste them into Notepad, and then examine them in Notepad. If you don't have that time, just go to the domain yourself, like Amazon.com. Type in Amazon.com. Don't click the link to take you to Amazon.com. I never click links in emails unless I know it has come from a trusted source. One time, a long time ago, I fell for a so embarrassing, but I fell for the travel alert where the traveler woke up in a bathtub full of ice and one of his kidneys was missing. And, I immediately replied all and sent this spam worm email back through the entire organization. And everybody's like, this is spam, take me off your distribution list. I literally just hit reply all. So it wasn't even a distro list. So whoever sent the original email, I was early on in my career. I was still just a phone guy. I didn't know anything about technology back then, but I knew what I had just done was terrible because the email server, just from that reply all and everybody then replying back, take me off your list, or don't reply all. As soon as everybody starts replying all, don't reply all. Anyway, it just destroys the server. So don't click on links in emails, for your passwords, right? Everybody is afraid or, resistant, I'll say, to change. And for a while now, two-factor authentication has been around. But more and more, multi-factor authentication is becoming more commonplace. If you don't have multi-factor authentication, some kind of authenticator, Google Authenticator, Sophos Authenticator, YubiKeys, right? All these, there's so many kinds of secondary authentication methods where you can get a text message with a random PIN that's generated. The code can generate a PIN. So if you're not familiar with multi-factor authentication, try to learn a little bit about what multi-factor authentication is, because that removes the ability for me to just guess your password. If you don't have a password manager and you're using the same password for everything, that's a bad practice. Because once I guess your Gmail password, I now have your Amazon password, and I now have your bank password, and I now have your Facebook password, and I now have every other thing that you use that same password for. And so the only way to reduce the reusability and be able to remember long, complex passwords is with a password manager. Using those types of tools, the learning curve is a little high just to understand what they are. But some of the really good ones also give you disposable emails. And some people are like, why would I want a disposable email? Have you ever visited a site that says, click here to sign up, right?
Yep.
If you have a disposable email, you never have to give out your Gmail again. You never have to, if you're still using Yahoo, I hope you're not, but, and a lot of companies used to not allow those throwaways because, the hackers were using them to hide who they were. But now good people are using them, and they're allowing those domains to just be part of their average. So if that company gets breached, so like I have I will say like Sean-Bass Pro Shops. So I know where that email was used, who it was used for. And if now I'm all of a sudden getting spam to that email, it doesn't matter. I can delete it. And I know Bass Pro Shops got compromised because all I ever told was Bass Pro Shops, but now I'm getting a ton of other garbage emails. So either Bass Pro Shops sold my email or their database was compromised and whoever stole it is now spamming me. So there's a big benefit to using a password manager that has throwaway emails built in. IronVest is a really good one. It used to be DNT Blur, I believe is what it was called, but they've gone through a rebrand. But I know they use one-way hashing. So keep your stuff updated. Keep it updated. Keep it updated. It's not a bad thing. If you're not familiar with encryption, basically, if you look up at the top of your browser session, you should see an HTTPS, right? S stands for secure, meaning the traffic going between your browser and that server is encrypted. And so a person sitting in between your transmission of those data packets. They can't read them. It's all just garbage. It's undecipherable. And so if you're not using, unfortunately, most web-facing servers now are all using HTTPS. I don't think there's anything that is any longer non-secured web traffic. As an enterprise leader or a best practice, I don't think anybody would allow their clients or customers to access an unsecured server. And so you yourself, if you're not using BitLocker or some other type of encryption on your computer itself, find a way to learn how to turn that on and secure that data that sits on your own computer. So if somebody were to come in and steal your laptop or rip out your hard drive or walk out of, the coffee shop with your device, they can't decrypt it, they can't read it. It just becomes useless to them.
Just do something. Doing nothing is no longer an option.